Welcome to the Success with Listings podcast, where we help you get success in the real estate game the easy way. Now you can get off the roller coaster of feast and famine and out of the rat race of competing with every other agent in town. Hi, I'm Knolly Williams. I took over 1,000 listings during my first 10 years in the real estate game, and in this podcast, I show you how to have success with listings. Let's go. Hey there, Knolly Williams, author of Success with Listings. I call it the Listings Bible on how to get all the listing leads that you want. And here's the deal. People are asking me all the time, Knolly, where are we going to get these listing leads? Man, I want listing leads. How are we going to get them? How am I going to get them? Well, if you want more listing leads, this video is for you. I'm going to show you how to get all the listing leads that you ever need by following the 3 buckets. You know, I get so many questions about lead generation, and you guys already know I wrote the book, Success with Listings. I wrote what I consider to be the Bible on taking listings. And I've got 5 chapters in here all about lead generation. But I realize that a lot of you guys, or a lot of people just don't like to read, right? You want to watch a video. So I put this video together because one of the questions I get all the time is, how do I get listing leads? Okay, how do I get listing leads? And so that's going to be the topic of our talk today. That's going to be the topic of our time today. Listing leads. Where the heck do I get them? And the thing is, it's like, look, Knolly, I know I need them. Where do I get them? Right? So that's what I'm going to be talking to you about today. I got to tell you, yesterday I had just gotten back to the office and I had a coaching call with one of my students. He had done an interview with a team, and so the team had told him that basically he was going to be on the phones every single day from about 9 o'clock to 11 every single day, and he was going to be calling cold calling. You know, just going through the phone book, calling random leads. And trying to generate leads that way. And so what the team member had told him, or the team leader mentioned to him, that he had to make about 150 calls in order to get 1 conversion. Okay, so it was about 150 to 1, and that's about what their team was running. They got a bunch of people on the phones, on the auto dialers, making those calls, banging them out, hitting them. And this is the kind of results that they're getting, 150 to 1. Well, I got to tell you, you know, I took over 1,000 listings during my first 10 years in the business, and I never once made a cold call. Okay, I never did any cold calling. Now, I'm not hating, I'm not tripping, I'm not, you know, talking bad about those of y'all that like to do cold call. More power to you. Handle your business, huh? But I never had to do it. Took over 1,000 listings in 10 years, over 100 listings a year, ranked number 7 in the city of Austin out of almost 10,000 agents. My production was 7th out of 10,000. And I never made a single cold call. How is that possible? Well, it's possible because cold calling is something that you can do if you choose to, but you don't have to do it. I certainly didn't. And I'm going to show you how I did it. It's not really a mystery. It's something that's, and I call it a secret. People say, well, there's no secrets in this business. Well, there obviously are some secrets, because there's a lot of people struggling and they shouldn't be. You know, I'm here to help you put food on the table for your family. Now, what I call it is this 150 calls to 1, not necessary. If you work what I call the 3 lead buckets, okay? The 3 lead buckets. And so what I want to share with you today, I want to share with you what those 3 lead buckets are, because if you're not rocking these 3 lead buckets, you don't really have a listing business, okay? And of course, I'm showing you how to get more real estate, but what I'm really focused on is this right here, baby. Listings, huh? People think listings are real hard to get, and the truth is they're not hard to get. They're a godsend. They're exactly what you want, more listings. So here are the 3 buckets. Number 1 is going to be your sphere of influence. Okay, that's your sphere of influence. Number 2 is going to be your farm. And number 3 is going to be what? Your niche. Some people say you got a niche to get rich, right? So these are the 3 buckets where all the listing leads that you ever need are going to come from. And I got to tell you, that is good news. It's good news because you don't have to go running high, low, and chasing your head around or running around in circles to try to get listings. Listings are not as difficult as you're making them out to be to get. Okay, and so how do you? Okay, Knolly, we get it. How do we do it? Okay, so number 1 is going to be your sphere of influence. Okay, that's going to be your lead bucket number 1. Why is that lead bucket number 1? Well, because according to National Association of Realtors, okay, great source for statistics, good information, 70%, okay, of your paycheck is going to come from that bucket, okay? 70%. So just think about that for a moment. If you're going to make $100,000 this year in real estate, $70,000 of that $100,000 is going to come from this one group of people, okay? That's 7 out of $10 that you earn comes from this group alone, okay? Now, when you're doing stuff like cold calling, when you're calling 150 people to get one potential lead, I mean, yeah, it works. I'm not saying cold calling. Hey, don't start hating on me now. I'm not saying that cold calling doesn't work. I'm just trying to say that for me, I'm billed out at $500 an hour. So if I'm going to have to make 150 calls to get one conversion, that is not a good use of my time. Okay. Now, if I'm calling my sphere of influence, people that already love me, they already know me, they've already done business with me in the past, or they know of me. If you're new in the business, they know of you, then that is a better use of your time, right? Now, I still want you on the phones, or I still want you doing your lead generation every single day from 9 to 11. Okay, we're not gonna get away from that. Every single day you should be doing your lead generation from 9 o'clock to 11 or 12, 2 to 3 hours a day. But what are you focused on? 7 out of $10 is coming from this bucket. Shouldn't you be spending 70% of your time on this group of people? I mean, doesn't it make sense, right? Instead of just trying to spend all your time marketing to strangers? Doesn't make sense, does it? So what we do at the Knolly team, we have a multi-tiered approach when it comes to marketing to our sphere of influence. We do a couple of things. The first thing we do is we send out a monthly newsletter. So a monthly newsletter, you're going to do that. That's 12 times a year. I like to send out a postcard. Okay, I like to send a postcard about 4 times a year. Okay, and then I like to hit them with a phone call about twice a year. Okay, 2 times a year. Now, if you look at this, you'll notice that this is an 18 touches. Okay, 18 touches. So you're touching these people 18 times a year. I guarantee you that's about once every 3 weeks. They're never going to forget who you are. Okay, and that's all it takes. Now, as far as making your phone calls twice a year, I recommend that you do that only to your top 200 people. Okay, and so that equates down to about 1 phone call a day. Okay, and if you're like me, you like to take nights and weekends off, you're making about 2 phone calls a day, Monday through Friday. Okay, fair enough. That's all I want you to do. And from this right here, if you're using the right scripts, okay, and you've got the right postcard and mailing pieces going out, if you're doing that the way it should be done, you're going to generate from your sphere of influence 70% of your business. 70% of your business. So that's the first bucket. Now let's move to the second bucket. That's your farm. Okay, your farm. Now keep in mind though that the other 2 buckets that we're going to talk about today, this is going to account for 30% of your business. Okay, so again, SOI, that's you really got to get that. You really got to get that rocking. I mean, I got to put hats off to Brian Buffini because he understood this, years and years ago. And there are agents out there that use the Buffini system that's all they do is their sphere of influence. They don't even worry about this other stuff. But I'm going to show you a couple of other buckets that you should be tapping into. Now, by the way, if you're a brand new agent and you don't have a database yet, you can quickly get one up and running or get one started. Just download all your Facebook contacts, download all your LinkedIn contacts, and just from those two buckets, you should have enough, people to get started. Okay, and if you don't have social media, then shame on you. But if you don't have that going, then just sit down and write down 200. Your assignment is to get a list of 200 people that, if I ask them if they know who you are, they would say, yes, I know that person. I don't care who they are. People you go to church with, your dentist, your doctor, your physician, your teachers from school, people that you used to be employed with. It doesn't matter. Anybody that could say that they know you, they don't have to live in your city. Get your list of 200 people together and do that right away if you don't already have it. So if you don't have a database, get one together. That's job number one. Number two is going to be to market to them the right way, okay, with these tools that we just talked about. Now, your farm. When you're talking about going after a farm, that business might take a little while, but don't you wish you would have started your farm 3 years ago, 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago? If you had done that, you'd already be getting dozens of listings from your farm. So why not go ahead and start today? You can start today, so why not do it? No excuse, right? So a farm should be at least 500 or more houses. The farm should be nearby, and it should be within a price range, okay, of what's acceptable to you, okay? And then the fourth rule to a farm is that it should have at least a 7% turnover, okay, a 7% turnover. Now, what I mean by that, again, the farm should be nearby, okay? It should be 500 plus homes. It should have a 7% turnover, okay? And also the last criteria is that from a dollar standpoint, the price of those homes in that farm should be commensurate with what you're looking to list, right? So you're going to go after a farm, obviously, that, like I tell people all the time, it costs the same amount of money to farm to the hood as to the good, huh? So why wouldn't you spend your money marketing to areas where you want to live, huh? If you're not already living there now. But again, it should be nearby. So put your farm together, and for your farm, the key to a great farm or marketing to a great farm is what we call an IOV, an item of value. So when you go out to that farm and you're doing your open houses in that farm and doing all the stuff that you do in that farm, you should have a dynamic item of value. And that could be like a calendar of events, maybe a sports events. Now, the calendar of events I really like, because that's like the jazz festival, the wine festival, all the different things that are going on in your town, you're letting them know when those things are happening, okay? So, and then anything, when you think about an item of value, just think about something that they won't easily throw away. A vendor service directory of the best trade vendors that you've worked with is another great resource, okay? When you're open housing in that farm, make sure that every open house that you do is an event. And the other thing I want you to do is I want you to be out there with your iPhone taking video. Go to all the local restaurants, the local dentist, the chiropractor, the doctor's offices, and local sports bars, pizzerias, you name it. I want you to be out at those places and just making quick videos, 5, 6, 7-minute videos. Hey guys, it's Knolly Williams. I'm out at Dave's Buffalo Wild Wings, and we're here at I got Dave in the house. Hey Dave, tell us why your wings are so special. You're interviewing restaurant owners. You're interviewing a donut shop, your coffee shop. You're interviewing people in your community that your farm should know about, and you're becoming the man about town or the woman about town, letting everybody know that, hey, I know what's going on. I'm the king of this farm, right? When you think about going after your farm, you want to think about it from the same standpoint as if you were running for mayor, okay? You're running for mayor of that farm area. Now, the third area where you're going to get all the listing leads that you need is going to be your niche, okay? Like they say, you got a niche to get rich. And a niche, basically, when you think about it, just take a footnote from the medical industry. In the medical profession, a specialist earns about $153,000 more per year than a general practitioner. Okay, yet they work 30% less. Okay, so a general physician has 30% more visits, and they're twice as likely to work nights and weekends. Okay, and they're doing it for $153,000 average less per year. So when you become a generalist, when you go out and say, hey, I sell real estate, or I do everything, I do farm, ranch, I do lots, I do houses, I do this, I do that. What you're really doing is you're saying, I'm a jack of nothing, jack of all trades, master of none. Now, when you start creating yourself, from a niche standpoint, then you start to get noticed, because people say, man, this person, they're a divorce specialist or a probate specialist, or maybe they specialize in expired listings. Okay, could be for sale by owners, first-time home sellers, golf course communities, homes on one or more acre. It doesn't matter. Whatever your specialty is, you should be rocking your specialty. It could be divorce, it could be probate. The niches go on and on and on. Again, I write all about this in my book, Success with Listings. It's not just a book. As you can see, it's almost like an encyclopedia, 430 pages of nonstop information. Yes, a shameless plug, because people ask me all the time, Knolly, how have you done all this stuff? And I took a lot of my hours of my time to document it so that you could know, so that I could give it away to you for as little as possible. And I got to tell you a funny story about this book. I had a lady contact me, and she says, by the way, we get, it's getting 5-star reviews all over Amazon, but we have, every now and then you get somebody that's a little bit, different, right? So she's like, I don't like the fact that you're selling yourself in the book. Well, yeah, I'm selling myself in my book. I'm a salesman who wrote a sales book for salespeople about selling. And you don't expect me to do any sales while I'm at it? That's kind of crazy, huh? Okay, so back to this conversation that we're having right now. Sphere of influence, your farm, and your niche. All the listing leads that you ever need are going to come from these 3 buckets. Now, if you got this rocking, okay, check this out. You got your sphere of influence rocking. You got your farm going, and it's off and running. You got 500 houses, 1,000 houses, 2,000 houses. By the way, I teach you how to do, people, I don't have any money to do all that stuff you teach, Knolly. Well, you guys already know I teach low to no cost marketing, right? So all the stuff that I teach, you can get it done absolutely at zero out of your pocket, okay? Even your farming postcards, okay? Think about it. You send out a farming postcard to 500 houses, and that's going to cost you, let's say, if you use every door direct mail, it's going to cost you 18 cents per house. Let's round that up to 20 cents. That's $100, $50 for printing. And then you have, so it's $150 to mail those out. You have 4 trades on the back. So you have like a handyman, a lawn service, a painter, and some other, maybe a roofer, whatever it might be, or a restaurant. And each one of those pays you $50. Don't you know that the trades that are in your city want to piggyback with you to those 500 houses? They want to be where you are as well. So each of them pays you $50 to be on the back of your postcard. How much did you earn? You made $200, okay? And it only cost you $150. So none of the stuff that I teach costs you any money. So the excuse of not having money to do this doesn't hold water. Even the sphere of influence, okay? The postcard campaign, same thing. You're going to get sponsors to pay for that. The monthly newsletter, I use moresolds.com. It's $5 a month. You mean you can't afford $5 a month? Yes, you can. And the phone call, how much does it cost to make phone calls? You already have a cell phone. You're going to pay that monthly plan whether you make calls or not, right? So this plan that I'm giving you right here costs about $100 a year out of your pocket. To reach 70% of the dollars that you're going to earn, cost you about $100 a year. So this whole thing about not having money to do this stuff doesn't hold up. I go into great detail about how to do all your marketing for free in my book. Now the niche, like I said, this last one, the niche, this is something you got to have rocking as well. And when you're doing your niche marketing, which is going to be your postcards, mainly postcards, and you're going to have, like I said, jumbo postcards. You're going to have a unique website. You're going to have flyers, and you're going to have a unique business card behind that. Okay, I don't have time to go into the whole deal around that because I'm trying to keep these videos as short as possible so you'll watch them, right? But again, if you focus your energy on your sphere of influence, your farm, and your niche, you're going to be able to generate all the listing leads that your heart desires, and you'll never ever have a shortage of listing leads in your business again. Had a guy that emailed me just the other day. He says, Knolly, I went from 20 listings to 60 listings just by following your system, just by following the system. And I got to tell you guys, it works. Now, after you've done all this, throw this in, after you've done all this, and you still want to make 150 calls, cold calls, to get one lead, handle your business. I bless you in doing that, if that's what you want to do. But again, you don't have to if you don't want to. And you're going to find that if you got 2 hours to spend every single day, you're going to want to spend those hours on where you're going to make the most money. Okay? Knolly Williams, hey, thanks for listening. All right. I hope that you enjoyed this episode of Success with Listings, where I was able to share with you how I've been able to generate over 1,000 listings in 10 years, the last 10 years, without making any cold calls, right? You know, people want to know where these listing leads come from. I just showed you how to get them. Get out there and get them today. If you like the video, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be coming up with a lot of these videos, and I'm always coming up with some kind of crazy video about how to make you more money and help you be more of a success to your community and your family and to your God that you serve. God bless. Knolly Williams. I wish you peace and more listings. Well, thanks so much for tuning into this episode of the Success with Listings podcast. If you are serious about taking your real estate career to the highest heights, making more money and helping more clients while working less hours and spending more time with your family, be sure to get your copy of my free book, Triple My Listing, absolutely free at successwithlistings.com. Now, you want to be sure that you subscribe to the podcast and check out successwithlistings.com to get your copy of my free book. Hey, I'll see you on the next one.